Andy Stanley, who is a minister for a very large non-denominational church, told about how 2020 was a tough year on him. And then he met an 87-year-old man who had been through much more. As far as diseases are concerned, Vietnam War protests, that man had been through it. And he said to him, "I suppose 2020 was a difficult year for you." "No," he replied slowly, looking me straight in the eyes. "I learned a long time ago to not see the world through printed headlines. I see the world through people that surround me. I see the world with the realization that we love big, and therefore I choose to write my own headlines." Upon reading that, began to think about how many times I've told myself that I needed to turn off the television, get away from all of the news on my phone, and get back to people around me, my family, my church, my neighbors. I believe in keeping up with what's going on in the world, but it's easy to get bogged down in it to the extent that we feel like there is no hope, there is no future. There's a shooting over here, a natural catastrophe over here. Look at Congress, and they are at loggerheads as they fight one another. You can begin to feel hopeless, but get back with the people and everything brightens up. I have heard that teachers have to stay focused on their students rather than keeping their focus on material. Oh, they have to know the material they're going to impart to those students, but if that is their focus, then they just want everything perfectly stated as far as the history or the science is concerned, and they miss the point that they're teaching that material to people. I think that preachers have the same problem. It's easy to get lost in the facts or get lost in some doctrinal point that you have to really bear down to make sure that you've got it all right. When we preachers forget that we're building faith in people, then our focus has been lost. Maybe it can be compared to a home. Have you gone into one that was straight? Everything had a place and everything was in its place. But the family seemed distant to one another. Perhaps no real relationship between parent and children. On the other hand, you go into a house and it's well kept, maybe just as well kept as the previous one I mentioned, but you feel the love and warmth. I think that we're imitating God when we focus on people. He created the world, everything that's in it, and every time he created something, the scripture says God observed that it was good, or in some instances he said it's good. But remember that he created man and woman at the top of that order. I suppose you could say that all of the rest of it exists for our benefit. We are his crowning work. Look at the word world and how the word world is used throughout the scriptures. It can refer to the rocks and the trees and the streams and the universe, but most often it refers to the people. God so loved the people that he gave his only begotten Son. Today, my challenge for myself and for you, let's keep the focus on people. We may write our own headlines.